talk a second about financing. And what do you see as far as, are the banks back lending in the residential market now? Are the rates good? Are you seeing deals fall apart as a result of banking, or is it starting to open up a bit?
Well, I'll tell you, if you don't mind me starting off, it's interesting, I participated in a finance roundtable last night. And what we know is that there is absolutely an easing of credit restriction. There's no question about it that the banks are recognizing that credit scores are less important today than they would have been 4 or 5 years ago. In fact, 30% of the transactions in the last quarter were to borrowers that had credit scores below 740, which is uncommon. It's about a 15% increase in the number of transactions that are happening below that credit score. I can tell you that banks are easing their credit restrictions and their credit guidelines for a number of reasons. Number one, because interest rates are going up, refinances are slowing down. So that's number one. Number two, the economy obviously is stronger. The cost of capital for the banks is lower, and the interest rates are a little bit higher. So there's an opportunity for the banks to make money, and in order to make money, they need to be able to provide financing. I can tell you that from my perspective, banks are absolutely lending. There are banks in our market that will provide 90-10 financing for first-time home buyers. Wow. There is absolutely a restriction on things like teaser interest rate loans, negative amortization loans. All of those damaging credit instruments are being rejected by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. And what we're finding now is that people that want to buy have an opportunity to get financing, and the appraisal values are now consistent with market values. So I'm seeing a lot more finance transactions happen, and I believe that over the next few months, the banks will recognize that they need to be a little bit more flexible, and we'll see an easing of credit restrictions, but in a healthy way.
I think the one benefit that you have in the marketplace right now as far as the financing goes is stability in the marketplace. I mean, a couple of years ago, properties that used to be $600,000 were $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000, and you had these appraisers going out there trying to almost like throw darts at what the value of things were, and the lenders and the underwriters were really uncomfortable making the loans. I mean, it put them in such a quandary of how, but we have such stability in the marketplace with an increasing market where prices are rising. So we know where the floor is and prices are coming up. It's so much easier to appraise the properties these days. Yep. So the lenders, their job is a little bit easier. Now, what people have to understand though is that the lending, getting financing is still a process though. And it's a still frustrating process because as much as a lot of people are type A personalities and they want to get all their documents in and submit all their information and expect to have an answer right away, the answer's not going to come right away. But you've got to manage the process. And again, this is where professionals who are helping you out and facilitating the process are really key to managing your blood pressure through the process, because to a certain extent the lenders do work from almost the bottom of the pile up. So if your closing is coming in 2 months, they may not be asking you all the questions you want them to be asking you right now. So it's part of managing the process, having good people involved, locating the good people to help you out with your financing and getting through the process and staying on top of it.